Are you struggling to follow through on your goals for Twitch? Is it preventing you from growing or even starting a Twitch channel? Well, in this video, I want to break down the truth of why most streamers' goals fail and what you can do to make it so your goals actually work. Let's get into it. Hi everyone, my name is Ryan Latham and I'm a Twitch streamer and content creator. I make videos that help streamers go after the life that they want, and I also make vlogs that help document my whole journey of going full-time with content creation and streaming on Twitch. In this video, I want to break down the truth of why most streamers' goals fail and what you can do to prevent that from happening to you. The first thing that streamers typically do when they go to make a goal is to set a yearly goal, and they usually set it as something like, I want to get 10,000 followers in my first year of streaming on Twitch. Please don't do this. There is so much wrong with doing this. It does not work like that. You need to actively set goals that are actually obtainable by your own actions and not having to rely on someone else clicking a follow button that you can't control. The other big thing that is wrong with setting a goal like wanting 10,000 followers in your first year is that is such a specific number for such a long period of time. But I'm sure you're thinking, don't you want really specific goals? And my answer is yes, of course you want specific goals, but not in that long of a period of time. And the main reason why is because humans are lazy. We naturally tend to wait to the last second or right before a deadline to go and accomplish whatever we need to get done. So something like, I want 10,000 followers over the course of a year, you're gonna be like, I'll put that off later and I'll work on that later in this year. And ultimately, setting a goal date 365 days away from now is not urgent at all. And honestly, that is the truth of why most people fail, because they set goals that are not urgent. Urgency will make or break your goals. Now, to help create urgency in my goals, I like to break it down into 3 different categories. I like to set a yearly goal, I like to set goals in 12-week cycles, and then I like to set goals in a weekly basis. Now, let's break down each of these and how this method changed my life to get me to start consistently going after the life that I want. For the first category of what we want to do for goal setting is to set a yearly goal. But didn't I just say yearly goals are a waste? Well, yes, but only if they're too specific. So my yearly goal is a very big picture goal. This is going to be my North Star and is what's guiding me in my big overarching goal for the year. For example, my yearly goal that I set for myself at the end of last April was to go full-time with content creation. And that's it, plain and simple. No other breakdowns right there. For the yearly goal, that is my goal. Now, the next thing to do with that big yearly goal is to break that into a bunch of smaller goals into 12-week cycles. This is the thing that has by far made the largest impact on my life and has actually gotten me to consistently start streaming on Twitch. I can't stress this enough. Please break it down into 12-week cycles. It is truly a game changer. I went for the longest time streaming off and on for about a year, super inconsistently, until I started doing the 12-week cycle and immediately saw results. And from then on out, consistent streams, and it truly does work. So let's break down why this works. Like I said earlier, it's really easy for us as humans to be lazy and wait until right before the deadline to start working on whatever we need to get done. And so in the case of a yearly goal, we'll push it off towards the end. But if you break that down into 12-week cycles, it is so much closer and much more urgent that each week matters. Now, for these 12-week goals, I like to make these a little more specific than my yearly goal, but nothing too crazy. So for example, some goals for my first 12-week cycle could be something like, I want to be more entertaining as a streamer, I want to create a better sense of community for my viewers, and I want to branch out and start posting content consistently on other platforms like YouTube. Now again, these aren't crazy specific goals that we can measure with exact numbers per se, but they're a lot more specific than our overarching yearly goal. Now, if we want to actually start taking action on those 12-week cycle goals that we've just created for ourselves, I like to personally break those 12-week cycles down into weekly battle plans. It's here that we can start setting very specific, measurable, small goals that are really obtainable. So what I like to do at the beginning of each week is to sit down and figure out what needs to get done that week. And before I start figuring out anything, I look at my 12-week cycle goals and figure out what can I do this week to help push my goals along for my 12-week cycle. For example, for my first week in my 12-week cycle, I'm going to dedicate 5 hours this week to figure out how to film and edit videos. Then to help push along one of my other goals for that 12-week cycle, I'm going to spend another 10 hours this week figuring out how to be a more entertaining streamer when my chat is dead. And then at the end of that week, it's so easy to look back and say, did I spend 10 hours a week working on that? Did I spend 5 hours a week working on that? Or whatever your actual measure measurable, obtainable goals are, and it makes it so much more urgent. And that's the key, urgency. So what's great about this weekly method is that we set our goals at the beginning of the week and put our heads down and work. And then at the end of the week, we kind of can take a breath and look around and say, okay, here's where we're at. And it's so easy to get into a good rhythm. And by doing it weekly, you get a bunch of little accomplishments. And in this day of age when we want instant gratification, it works so well for that. Now, I know that was a lot to take in, but if you use this method and break down your goals into urgent goals, I promise you'll be able to accomplish way more in a year than you ever could have imagined. I know this method has done absolute wonders for me, and I would not be where I am today without this method. And so if you like this video and want to continue to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe and give the video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.